Welcome back to the ID Machine. You're watching the Sly Guy, Sly Guy, Sly Guy, Kaboom, Kaboom, and Super Kaboomo Yeah. Kaboomo Yeah, Kaboomo Yeah. Here we go, here we go. It's a metal, it's a battle, it's the Lotus battle. This card was 20, this card was 20 pesos way before. Fast forward to 2023, it's worth 1,000 pesos now. I have offended you again, so I guess this is the end. Because everybody knows you're such a snowflake and you're just quite upset at every single thing we said. Everybody knows it's all just in your head. Wasted, feeling, going, speaking. You know why you've crossed the line when I said that you were mine. Going, skiing, no hard feelings. Since you will not be my girl, this is the end of my own world. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of The Ideal Machine with the Sly Guy, Sly Guy, Sly Guy. In today's episode, we're going to be revisiting cards way back in the early 2000s, in the year 2000, that used to be super cheap but are now super expensive. Oh my. Okay, let's start off with our main breakout star, Lotus Petal. Lotus Petal was a 20 peso card. I kid you not. Almost all my decks back then had Lotus Petal. My Stasis deck had it. The Replenish deck had it. The Frostbloom deck had it. Let's see, the Bargain deck had every single combo deck, the Dragon deck. So I had about I think it was 10 sets of Lotus Petals and a bunch of extra Lotus Petals lying around. Lotus Petals were just like weeds. They were just everywhere because it was a common back then. It was a common in Tempest. Tempest was and has had a very large print run, and these cards were everywhere. So right now, fast forward to 2023, and because of the alpha investments boom in 2017 and people started buying out cards, they started buying out Lotus Petals. Lotus Petal now, you'd be lucky if you can get one for 1,000 pesos. These are normally like 1,000 to 1,500 pesos. Very expensive cards. Super high priced, but I wouldn't pay 1,000 pesos for these, man. I used to pay like 20 bucks, 20 pesos for this card. And most of the decks, if you're gonna just spend that much, might as well just put a Mox Diamond in your deck rather than a Lotus Petal, unless you're gonna be using like a Storm deck, which is gonna need a Lotus Petal. Next up is Rhystic Study. This card used to be in my bulk common box, and I had like almost 30, 40 of them before. And they were just there. They had no use. I mean, back in Prophecy, I mean, you wanted Magetta Lion, you wanted Chimeric Idol, Citadel of Pain. Nobody wanted this card back then. A card was literal garbage, and I was using it as proxies. I was using this card to proxy other cards, so I'd just get like a marker and I'd write on it, and I'd draw on it, and then that can then basically I'd use that as a proxy card. Well, fast forward 2023, just like Lotus Petal, this card is super expensive. This is like almost 1,500 to 1,600 pesos each, and they used to be like 2 pesos each, man. How the times have changed. Lion's Eye Diamond. Back then, when Mirage was released, stores had high hopes for Lion's Eye Diamond, selling it for 300 pesos a card. Nobody wanted it because this not so quite Lotus required you to discard your hand. So what happened is they were overstocked with it, overprinted with it, even though it was rare, and then the price dropped to like 250 to 200, 180, 150 until people were just selling it for 80 pesos. Nobody wanted Lion's Eye Diamond back then. Fast forward to 2023. Lion's Eye Diamond is now worth 25,000 pesos. I kid you not. This card basically almost quadrupled or quintupled in value. Next up, Replenish. Ha, Replenish! A love story I've had with this card. Back then in Green Hills, you can get a full playset of Replenish for 150 pesos. So it was like 30 pesos a card. And I had like 3, 4, 5 sets of these before. And they were just sitting there and in the extras binder because I was getting Ursa's Destiny and was hoping to get Masticore, which was the big bad card back then. Okay, 30 peso card. Fast forward to 2023, it's a 5,000 peso card. Ah, man, Magic's getting expensive. So what determines the price? Okay, what actually, because Replenish is banned, so nobody can use it. Lion's Eye Diamond is restricted. So is Lotus Petal. Rhystic Study is only good for Commander, in no other format. So basically, the Commander format changed everything. People running Commander decks, certain cards became in demand. Certain cards um, became sought after during the Commander era. That Commander players just bought and bought and bought and bought. Plus the fact that you had alpha investments telling people to invest in reserve list cards, so that's why the reserve list cards prices shot up. Another thing is that the uses of a card. The cards are super useful in other decks, and this is basically useful in the Replenish deck or an enchantment deck, which is why it went so high up in price, right? So basically, don't ever misjudge that common that you're holding, because who knows, maybe in 20, 30 years, that common card that you have there might become the next breakout Magic of the Gathering card. Once again, this is Via D Machine with Sly Guy, Sly Guy, Sly Guy. We are signing off right now.